They have a mannequin ass. As soon as they showed his face, I was like, I don't like this guy at all.
If he was a Kamen Rider, would his name be Kamen Rider Hauser?
Jin shooting the tentacle into her. So she gets caught up on what's going on.
Like,
And then we
that.
Leaping towards a podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Kamen Up Next podcast. I'm your host, a giant robot, joined by my co-hosts Jesse
Yo.
and Nick.
Hey everybody.
And this week we're talking about Kamen Rider 01, episodes 36 to 40.
Yeah, we're doing 5 episodes this
Yeah,
time instead
we're
of 4.
getting-
So
We're getting really close to the end of the show itself, and there's just not enough. There's too many to only do 4. So this week and next week we're gonna be doing 5 episodes apiece.
and then the series will be complete.
Then the series is complete, and then we have a movie and some specials to watch. So
Yeah, we have the real-time movie and the V Cinema, the Vulcan and Valkyrie
Vulcan
V
and
Cinema.
Valkyrie.
Is there
I
anything
think
else?
There's the Metsubojin Rai one as well.
Okay, so
Is that out yet?
I'm pretty sure it's out.
all right. So we've got some stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, there's gonna be at least like one extra week of 01. So
Yeah, and then we'll finally be breaking out into
New
different format or
territory.
different
Yeah.
new territory. Yeah,
a
that's gonna
new
be
show,
Question mark?
possibly question.
probably, most likely. I don't think
Oh.
this isn't a Kamen Rider 01 podcast.
We also have Kamen Rider Gems, the Presidents, that we have to do.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's jump
Let's-
into it
let's-
since we've got extra episodes.
Yeah.
Let's not waste too much time.
So episode 36 is titled "I Am the Ark and a Kamen Rider." And we open with all Metsubo members gathered around Daybreak Town, and they perform this sort of like ritual. They'll beam something from their eyes to summon the Ark. And the Ark comes up as this like ball of CGI metal goo with like the red Ark eye,
He's like spiky.
all spiky and stuff.
Yeah.
And we then cut to Aruto and Izu talking about maybe making a new type of Humigear. Like they're just walking down the street saying, hey, like Aruto says, maybe I'm going to make my own type of Humigear that's different than what we've done in the past. And Izu says, you mean one that's not meant for the workforce? And he's like, yeah. And while they're having that conversation, they kind of eye Fua, who's standing in line to see a fortune teller.
I love his whole. He's like, what do you mean? I'm just there. What, you see a line here? There's no.
Yeah, there's a
here.
line here.
Yeah. What are you? And then he leaves.
He's like, hey, what's up, boss?
He just tries to like play it off as much as possible. There's a
Yeah.
line here. So good.
Yeah. What am I doing here? Am I here? I'm not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
So he kind of like storms off. Like he just kind of walks off, and Aruto sees that indeed he was in line to see a fortune teller. And we while he looks at the fortune teller sign, there's like the shot riser's like a fever that like plays where he says like, who has got a fever for fortune tellers? So it's pretty cool. So the Ark gets resurrected as that orb of liquid metal with the glowy eye, and then we get the opening. And after that, we're at Hidden Manufacturing, where Aruto and Izu activate a fortune teller Humigear called Mama, so that Fua can see the fortune teller that he wasn't able to see because
Yeah.
he kind of walked off. And I wrote that Mama's a little creepy and over the top.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
a little weird.
Just a little weird.
But Fua gives it a go anyway and tells her what's on his mind. So what he wants to know in the end is if he should go pay a visit to his family now that he knows that they're actually still alive. So his memories of them being dead are all fake. So he knows that his family's out there and alive. Wants to know whether or not he should go and see them. And Mama, the fortune teller, just flat out says, that's a bad idea because nothing good can come of it. And that kind of gets Fua to be like,
He's
I
like
know.
he's a little pissed
and
off about it.
a little pissed off about it. And so Aruto and Yuzu come back in. They see the Fua's pissed, and he kind of walks off. And Aruto kind of ponders, maybe Fua doesn't need a fortune teller. He just needs someone to talk to. And then the light bulb goes off, and he's like, maybe that's the human gear that I want to create. So with that thought in mind, he activates Hakase Bato.
Boto.
Bato.
I have it written as boat because he does say Hakase Boto.
Yeah. Boto.
Boto.
That was my favorite part.
So he activates him to help him make the new human gear that he thought up. And then we skip to Daybreak, where Arc is resurrected as that orb. He asks Hirobi what he thinks will come of humanity's extinction, and Hirobi just says, I don't know. And then Arc proceeds to attack him, just like rushes him. There's like a little bit of an explosion, and all the Metsubo members are kind of knocked back. Naki's even injured a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Hirobi gets like launched into another room, and Arc materializes around his waist as a driver, as a Kamen Rider driver, the Arc driver. Jin and Yaiba come in, and it looks like they were plotting to take down Arc after its resurrection, so this was kind of part of their plan the whole time. So they henshin straight into their strongest form, so we get Lightning Hornet and Burning Falcon. And the Arc henshins into the Kamen Rider as well. I don't know if like the name of the Kamen Rider is stated, so I had to look it up. It was Arc Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't it all zero when he
Arc Zero, yeah.
No, when he
was-
transforms, it says all zero.
Yeah, it was translated as All Zero, but I'm pretty sure it's Arc Zero.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wikipedia says Arc Zero. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just thought
Yeah.
the belt said all zero, but Arc Zero makes sense too.
Can we briefly talk about how funny it is when he henshins? Like everyone else puts a key in their thing and he just presses a button because there's no key to go in the driver. It just does it all itself.
The driver is kind of just him, right? It's the Arc
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but also funny.
It is pretty, and I don't know. I kind of like it.
No, it's
funny. I like
It's
it.
just there's the scene later where they're standing like in a line and everybody gets their key ready, and then he
gets
just
his
stands
thumb.
there and he just like I'm ready to push the button. It's
Yep.
just funny. It doesn't fit.
But that's the first time we get to see Kamen Rider Arc Zero. We get a few display shots of him after his henshin before we cut to our next scene with Guy. But then, like, before they actually clash, we do cut to another scene where the VP of Hidden Intelligence is in Guy's office and he's reading from a prompt, like an ad for the Raid Riser to the public. Because Guy's going forward with the plans to push the Raid Riser and everything. So there's like a commercial with a mom that's henshing into a Raider to take down like a
So weird.
Zaya spec attacker.
Yeah.
And this is like all Zaya stuff. So I'm like, that's...
Yeah, it's really weird that his plan was to make a defective product, and I guess it's not weird, but like he created the problem that he is then solving.
I don't think that was exactly his plan from the beginning. The Ziospec being defective is because Naki hacks them. Right?
No, but he said that like after a launch he wants to purposefully make the
Yeah,
Zaya specs go berserk.
I thought that was his new plan after seeing what
Yeah.
happened, and now that's the whole narrative around them.
It's just the new way to
Yeah.
sell the Raid Risers, but it's still a problem
It's
he
dumb.
created.
Yeah,
He's
it's still
fixing a
dumb.
problem he created it's dumb. Guy's not a good businessman.
He thinks he is.
Yeah,
He thinks he
not
is.
a good person either.
Well, yeah.
But so the VP is reading this prompt and like he's reading it unenthusiastically because he isn't happy about the whole thing. And Guy's a dick to him, being like, "I hope you're more enthusiastic at the next whatever conference or whatever." And, the VP's like visibly holding back his rage because Guy's being a dick to him.
Mhm.
We cut back to Aruto's place where Fua basically breaks the news of exactly that, of what just happened, that guy's going to make the raid risers available for sale to the public. And at the same time, Hakase finished making Aruto's new Humigear, revealed to be the new friend model Humigear i-Chan, which is just like a Google Home device.
It's like an Alexa Google Home, but like just slightly smarter.
Exactly. It's a bodiless Humigear, just a Google Home with an AI in it.
It does look like the ear module. Like it has the same like overall design, but it's just like a little.
It has the same pattern and everything, yeah.
So like it fits in with the Humigear aesthetic, but it is just like a little thing.
Anyway, they hand it to Fua so that Fua can have that to talk to. And then we cut to Jin and Yaiba fighting Arc Zero. Finally, we get the continuation of that. We didn't skip over that fight. And they get fucking curb stomped.
They get
destroyed.
Arc Zero has this ability to just like from the belt driver just 3D print attaché weapons.
Oh, it's so cool.
The same way he does when he's the satellite and they do it in Daybreak, he can just do it on the fly. He uses his like design, one of his eyes is like the arc, like the satellite eye. I believe that's what he uses to fabricate the items. I might be wrong.
No, it comes from the belt.
It comes from the belt.
Okay.
Yeah, the belt has the same eye though.
The
it
belt
has
does
the same like
eye.
red eye, and it just makes the attaché weapons. So he makes the shotgun. He shoots Valkyrie down, and he seems to like go harder for Yaiba than he does for Jin. I don't think it's so much that Jin is stronger than Yaiba that he doesn't get hurt as badly. I think it's just that I'm gonna go for the human because I hate the humans more than the
it's part that Yaiba's the human and part that he still needs
he still
Jin.
wants to he still wants to use Jin.
Jin is still a part of his overall plan, so he doesn't want to like destroy Jin.
But he goes way harder for Yaiba than he does. So he does this thing where he kicks Yaiba in the face when she's lightning hornet and slams her into the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then she like comes down and she's just immediately dehensioned because that shit hurts.
Yeah. I'm really happy that Jin and Yaiba had a plan and they weren't just going along with the baddies, but like they really miscalculated.
Well, so I think what they thought was, and she explains it later on. Actually, it's like right after that, so whatever. But like I surmised that what the plan was they thought that the Ark was going to take over Hirobi, and Hirobi was still going to be Kamen Rider Hirobi, King Scorpion, but like used by the Ark. So they figured, with our combined powers, we can take that guy down, and we could take down the Ark, because the Ark's going to have someone to possess. They didn't imagine that he was going to take the form of a driver and have his own form. Yeah.
He went way too hard on the possession.
Yeah, that was the miscalculation. So when you think of it that way, it's not. I mean, it sucks, but it kind of made sense that they would think, okay, he's gonna take over one of the Metsubo members.
Yeah, we can fight Hirobi. Hirobi's easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, that was not the case.
They made a calculated decision, but man, are they bad at math.
So they obviously lose that fight. Yaiba gets dehension after she got kicked into the ceiling, and before Arc can finish her off, Jin swoops in, kind of like circles around her and teleports her away.
There's a moment too where Arc like affects Yaiba's brain chip.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Arc can do the
he
brain
can access her brain chip, which is a scary thought also.
Really
Arc can also make humans pass out. So that's like a thing too.
We find that out later too,
Yeah. That's a power that I don't actually mention in the summaries, but
it was all the non-henshin people.
Yeah.
So Jin swoops in and like Gentoku steam guns her away basically.
Yeah.
And then we show up at a hospital where Yaiba was being treated. So he took her to a hospital. We cut to Fua, who's starting to converse with Ai-chan about his situation, about his family and everything. And Ai-chan convinces him to go and check on his family because, if anything, just to
have closure.
Yeah, have that closure and to get rid of the question marks. So Fua drops by his family's place from a distance and observes his family that's like outside. Dad's washing the car and the family's just like interacting outside. So he's nearby, he's catching a glimpse of them. And the one thing we see is that Fua's family shares his sense of humor. So his
Yeah.
dad is like another king of dad jokes. He makes a really lame joke to his little brother, and then they all break out in laughter.
That was the best scene. The whole Fua family just laughing at a shitty joke.
Yeah, your comment after that was like, well, it's definitely his family.
Yeah.
After that, we see Aruto call the vice president because Fua told him that the raid risers are going on sale. So he calls the vice president to try and get him to put the kibosh on the whole thing. But the VP says there isn't anything that he can do about that. So immediately after that, the whole gang finds out that Yaiba's in the hospital. So they rush over to her. And she's hurt, but she gets up and she tells them about her and Jin's plan to take down Arc after it was resurrected. So the plan was they knew it was going to take over a Metsubo member. They were going to steer it towards taking Hirobi, and they were going to take down Hirobi, but they grossly underestimated the abilities. They didn't expect Arc was going to become its own Kamen Rider. So hearing this, Aruto, responsible as he is, sets out to go confront Arc after, all this is disclosed to him. Yaiba, before he leaves, warns him that the Arc is way too strong. You don't have a chance, but, it's Aruto, so he's going to go out anyway.
It's gotta.
Fu is not going to let Aruto go alone either, so he is backing him up. But before he leaves Ai-chan behind for Yaiba to talk to because he senses that she could use a friend right now, and he's got somewhere better to be. So those two and Izu head off to face the Arc, and they hench into the strongest form. So we get Rampage Gatling and Metal Cluster Hopper, respectively. Before that happens, I should mention the same thing that happened to Yaiba. The brain chippy thing happens to Fua too. So Arc walks in and starts activating the brain chip, like giving Fua the brain chip headaches.
It's
but
so
Fua's too angry.
Fua's too angry.
He's not angry though. He's just determined now.
But no, it's like like when Bruce Banner gets control of the Hulk, it's like he's always angry, and he can utilize that as for his benefit.
Gotcha.
I like that.
Yeah, it's what he's like.
It is what he's like. You're right.
The two of them go all out against Arc, and Fua uses like a really awesome Rampage element blast. Aruto uses his final strash, and that is enough to kind of knock Arc down and dehension a possessed Jin. So it turns out that it was Jin that was being possessed by Arc. Arc then jumps off of Jin, attacks Fua a bit. Fua's like, ah. And then Hirobi comes in after that, and it jumps onto Hirobi.
He kind of like starts possessing Fua, and we're like, oh fuck, no.
Yeah, that kind of looked really scary for a second.
Yeah.
But then Hirobi came in and it jumped onto Hirobi, so
yeah,
that's better.
Hirobi's the only one that doesn't fight back, so
that's the end of episode 36, by the way. Then it jumps into episode 37.
Does it pick up right there on episode 37?
It picks up right there.
Okay, and then we basically find out that like he's stronger when he's with Hirobi because Hirobi's the most like willing.
Yeah, Jin was actively fighting to take control, so he had to fight that internal battle and fight the two others.
Yeah, so while the two of Aruto and Fua stood a chance versus Jin Arc Zero, they don't stand a chance when he's possessing Hirobi,
which becomes immediately evident because
what were you saying, Zach? I cut you off.
It's not a big deal. I just wanted to. It's like a fun fact. The voice of Ai-chan is the actress who played Gokai Yellow in Gokaiger, because she's a popular voice actress now for anime and stuff. So
that is a fun fact.
It is a very fun fact,
and it's also awesome. I loved Ai-chan's voice.
Yeah, Luca is like one of the better Gokaigers too. So
I'd be friends with that.
Yeah,
device.
Ai-chan is great.
We could all use an Ai-chan in our life.
Yeah, I wish my Google Home was more like Ai-chan.
Real talk with your Google Home.
Yeah, exactly.
I-chan played Despacito.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we pick up in that fight.
Yeah.
Hirobi now is Arc Zero, henshins into that form, and we get to see, I guess, one of Arc Zero's finishers, which is the like Arc Extinction Punch,
Mm-hmm.
that is strong enough to break through Metal Cluster Hopper's like protective locust metal plate and slam right through that, hit Metal Cluster Hopper, knock down Aruto and dehenshin him. So it's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's a little
And
strong.
they get completely railed by this
Yeah,
this version
it's
of Arc Zero.
Like
so
no contest.
no contest. Everyone's defeated. Jin tells everyone to just leave. We're not strong enough. So Jin kind of stays back, but everyone else takes the opportunity to escape. They head back to Aruto's office, and Aruto, who's never been so defeated before, talk about how terrifying the arc was. And Aruto's especially shaken up now because he's had all this blind faith in AI and human gear for all of this time in his whole life.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that he's seeing how scary AI can be when it's completely out of human control and
He's
totally evil.
legitimately doubting himself.
Yeah.
And
He's
all-
talking softly. He doesn't believe anymore. He's super down.
Yeah. It's pretty
I
sad.
also want to say it's kind of similar to in Build when Sento did the thing and then didn't want to fight anymore, but like way less annoying.
Yeah. Because this makes sense.
Yeah, this makes sense.
This makes
It
sense.
doesn't go on for as I guess it doesn't go on for as long, but it's also not as like whiny or whatever. Like he's not like
But-
complaining. He's just like really quiet.
And he's also like he's not like I don't want to fight. He's just like
Yeah.
he's rattled. He's like I'm scared and I don't know what to
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
he's shaken to the core.
It's not so much as I don't want to fight anymore because fighting's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's just like a much better execution of that concept. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. It's also not that he's like rethinking his whole life and his whole worldview. He's
Yeah.
he's processing this for the first time. That this is the first time he's seen AI completely be like irredeemable.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, up until this point, even Hirobi and Jin and everyone, he's seen the possibility of change in them, but he can't see that in Arc. Arc is way too far gone.
Yeah. So then we jump to Arc, which he manifests. He prints a force riser and a key for Naki, and orders Naki to go send their regards to Zaya.
He prints one for what's the other one's name?
Ikazuchi?
Ikazuchi.
Or
Yeah, he prints him a force riser and the dodo key as well, I believe.
No,
Oh, then that happens later.
no. So what happens is Arc sends Naki out. Naki goes to Zaya and steals the
To
dodo
get
key
it.
back.
But he still
for-
has to make him the force riser. But
Probably, but that's not as important.
okay, I misremembered.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's Naki going to get the dodo key back from Zaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
We jump back to the hospital where Yaiba is talking to Ai-chan, the best friend anyone can ever ask for. And I recommends that she apologize to Fua for all the fucked up shit she's done so that she can stop, blaming herself and start to move on.
Mm-hmm.
In the next scene, Guy's in his office and he tells the VP that he's, plotting to purposefully make the Zaya specs go berserk, blah, 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 so that people will be forced to buy the raid risers. And the VP's like, what the fuck? And that's like the final straw for him to reach out to Aruto. So it's like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to reach out to Aruto. We see him come into Aruto's office and he requests the help of a Humigear to do a hostile takeover of Hedon intelligence from Guy, boot him out of Hedon. And he's catching Aruto on like a down moment here because Aruto's kind of questioning whether a Humigear can help with that. And the VP's like, what's wrong with you, dude? Of course You're the one that tells me Human Gear
Yeah.
can do everything.
You're the one.
So they the managing director wheels in like a box, and it's a Human Gear in the box, and they activate Shesta to help. So it's been a while since we've seen Shesta. It was nice to see her back.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to Guy, who's leaving his office at night, and he's ambushed by Naki and Ikazuchi. And that's when we see Naki's first henshin, and his Kamen Rider form is pretty cool. Japanese wolf.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
It's got like these Wolverine claws.
It's like the claws from O's.
O's, yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. The tiger claws.
Tiger claws.
Except thinner. I think
Yeah,
they're, like,
probably.
closer
A
together.
little thinner, a little longer.
Pretty cool. So Naki rushes in, and with those Wolverine claws, slices all of Guy's clothes to pieces.
So fucking good.
He's just left to his
His
Zaya boxers.
It's fucking, I have it written out. Zaya boxers, LMAO. I can't believe he wears Zaya brand boxers on top of everything.
Zaya underwear.
I think that means his parts are presented by Zaya.
Yeah, he probably says it too. He pulls them down and goes, presented by Zaya.
The true jacking break.
The true jacking break.
This jacking break is presented by Zaya.
Oh my fucking god. The worst part is I can believe that. If somebody told me that was canon, I wouldn't even question it.
Yeah.
So Guy's standing around in his underwear, and he gets the message from those two that the Ark is alive and is a Kamen Rider. And Guy's just standing there in his briefs, in his boxer briefs, all loser like.
All loser like.
You know, so he presses a button on his watch and says, "Okay, mobilize aims." Naked Man is pissed.
Aims now.
Then we cut to the hospital where Yaiba's there with Fua, and she summons the courage finally to apologize to Fua for all the bullshit that she's done. It's not the best apology, but it's not the worst apology either. She finally gets that off her chest.
I mean, she's like super embarrassed
Yeah.
the whole time.
I-Chan calls her out on the shitty apology.
Yeah.
Like, you had a good apology there until you ruined it.
Because she straight up is like, well, I-Chan just told me to say that. And I-Chan's like, are you kidding me?
But Fua's cool with it.
Yeah, Fua knows what's going on.
He gets it because he's the same way.
Yeah.
They're both hard-headed like that, so.
So we skip to Guy. Guy, having the news that the Ark is alive and is a Kamen Rider, leaves the office with an army of aims to go attack Ark. And the VP and gang and Shesta take the opportunity to, with Guy gone out of his office, hack into his computer and find a shit ton of incriminating evidence over him. So while this is happening, Thouser and a couple of raiders and a shit ton of Ames soldiers rush to Daybreak Town to face off against Metsubojin Rai and Ark. And this is like the first time we see that the Ark has the ability to incapacitate humans. So all the human soldiers just collapse. They hear like a frequency sound that I guess Ark emits that just knocks them all out. So there's a couple of raiders and Thouser there. And at the same time, during the fight, Ark actually hacks like all the Zaya specs in the world. It's not relevant because nothing comes of it, but there's like
that's right, he does do that.
Thrown together scenes of like Zaya spec wearers all being hacked.
Yeah, that's right.
While that fight goes on.
I think this is the scene where you see everybody get ready to fight, and then Ark, who is controlling Jin specifically because Jin is the one that won't cooperate. This is the scene where he's like just getting ready to push the button while everybody else gets ready to put their keys.
That is the scene exactly. Yeah. So you get to see him like just hold up a finger while everybody else is holding up their keys. Yeah.
Very silly.
So during the fight, At the same time, we cut to the VP who goes back to Heat Manufacturing and thanks Aruto for activating Shesta because she came through for them. And Aruto still seems off, and the VP calls him out on it and gives him the words of encouragement that he needs to snap out of it and move forward.
He does something actually useful for
Yeah.
once on the
The
show.
one good thing he's done all series long.
And I liked it because it shows that the VP actually did believe in Aruto the whole time, and probably the reason that he was always like pissed about Aruto is because he knew that Aruto was better than him,
Mhm.
and he just never wanted to like say it.
Admit it, yeah.
Yeah, but he, his love for the company outweighs any like jealousy that he has, so he manages to speak from the heart and come through to Aruto, which is nice. And it's also one of those things where, and it's true to life, where you can hear something like words of encouragement from like your friends and people that care about you, and it's always nice. But if someone that like hates your guts and is an asshole says something encouraging or nice to you,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of like mentally like believe it a little bit more. You buy into it a bit more because you're like, that person has no reason to just like make shit up, So it really does snap Aruto out of it, which is great. And meanwhile, Thouser's getting completely fucked in his fight with Metsubo Jinrai and Arc. He actually winds up kind of holding his own a little bit, but handling all of those enemies at the same time is way too much for him.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So obviously he is completely fucked and has to like crawl limp away, being like, I'm 1000% not through yet.
His signature guy limp where he's like bent over. His knees can't fucking bend anymore.
So as he limps away, Aruto comes in as Metal Cluster Hopper right after Thouser's defeat and squares off against Arc. Otherwise, I guess Arc would have chased after a limping guy and just finished him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that fight is also pretty cool, but Arc during that fight also uses the explode Krillin attack, as Jesse put it while we were watching it.
Yeah.
Just like levitates 0-1 Metal Cluster Hopper and just
It's
whoosh.
literally the Frieza exploding Krillin move. His
And-
first Frieza move.
Yeah, he does many Frieza moves, as we'll see.
A lot.
And that move is enough to defeat Metal Cluster Hopper. De-henshin Naruto just comes crashing down. And then we cut to VP and gang, which confront the defeated guy who's like all bandaged up and has one of those like neck braces in his office. And they confront him about the evidence that they have against him, and they're planning on booting him out. That's how this episode ends.
During the fight against, I think it was Aruto, he Arc uses double shot risers, and I just wanted to point that out because it's kind of cool. He just dual wields shot risers.
He makes good use out of that 3D printing ability.
Yeah, there's another cool one, but I don't know if it's in this fight or another one, so I don't know if I should say.
Oh, you mean the one when he summons many?
No, not that one. The one where like Aruto, is it, or was that someone else? Was that in the last episode? He's got the person on the ground with his like foot on them, and he summons the shotgun and just blasts him in the face. Didn't that happen? Am I dreaming this?
No, you didn't dream this. This happened in another fight with Metal Cluster Hopper.
Okay,
Yeah,
it did happen.
that's in the next episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
it's cool. It was cool.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That fight's pretty cool too.
The next
episode 38.
Yeah, it also I think picks up right where the last episode ends. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 38 is titled "I Am 1000% Your Friend," and
That should have been the name of this podcast.
That's too late.
I am 1000. This is 1000% a podcast.
It's too late.
Shit.
So Guy, having been confronted with the evidence of his wrongdoing, starts to unravel, locks himself in the secret hidden lab behind the office, and proceeds to, having swiped, I guess, the USB key with all the evidence of his wrongdoings, puts it into a computer and starts to delete all the evidence of his wrongdoings. all the incriminating evidence that they gathered. VP, who's locked on the other side of the door, calls Aruto and tells him that Guy locked himself in the lab and is deleting all the data. And right before the opening, the VP flips Aruto's catchphrase on him, saying, "The only one that can save
Right.
this company
Is
is
you.
you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, can we just say during this whole thing of Guy like frantically deleting the evidence, like he's just a shitty Dan Kuroto.
I have that written in my notes.
It just doesn't hit the same.
It's the shittier Dan Kuroda.
Yeah, but he doesn't stay with the Dan Kuroto vibes for long. He turns into a
No.
whole different entity.
Yeah, I know.
Also, the keyboard that he's typing on, I think it's the LEDs. It might have been the keycaps, but they're Thouser colored, so like gold, black, and purple. I think.
Of course, there.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice. But
Yeah.
he's slamming hard on those keys.
they're all Thouser colored.
So after the opening, we are in Daybreak, and Jin is still trying aimlessly to backstab Ark and kill it. So he's like feigning loyalty, and he's got his slash riser behind his back, and he wants to kind of catch Ark off guard, but he's in way over his head because Ark can predict his betrayal every time, can calculate any outcome,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
all within
states
his calculations.
that's it. He states that the only thing that he can't predict is Zaya, so that's the one target that he's got to get rid of. So we're back to the hidden secret lab, where Aruto, the VP, and gang come in through the secret entrance. So that makes a comeback.
Yep.
And they encounter a completely unraveled Guy trying to get Zaya to mass produce the raid risers and to kick off his plan, but nothing's happening.
Just like typing, he's like, now.
Yeah.
Nothing. Types again. Now.
So-
dumb.
Aruto comes in and says, "Well, duh, Zaya has a conscience too, you idiot." We also find out that the VP took it upon himself with management to cancel all the pre-orders for the raid risers as well, and that pisses Guy off. Aruto tells him, "Dude, you deleted all your wrong, like all the evidence against you. How low can you stoop, my dude?" And Guy, having heard that all the pre-orders got canceled, gets pissed, henshins into Thouser, and with his 1000 Jacker, just like slashes at the VP, almost killing him. Izu manages to protect the management, throws them to safety.
She throws VP. The Shesta and the manager just run up the stairs, but Izu just straight up throws the VP like
Up over the railing.
yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
So Aruto henshins the Metal Cluster Hopper, and they clash in the lab. And Aruto easily fights off Thouser. At this point, he's way stronger than Thouser. Final Strash defeats him. And after Thouser's defeated, Guy's just kind of on the ground, and everyone's just looking down on him, telling him what a piece of shit he is.
They're like, we just sent the footage of you attacking us to Zaya.
You loser. They all got their like arms crossed, looking at him like, what a pathetic dude. And Guy desperately runs towards the president's chair and clings to it after being told that the president of Hedon needs to have a dream of AI and humans working together, and he's like the opposite of that. And he announces that no freaking way am I going to let Aruto take the presidency away from me, But Aruto just says, I don't want it anyway. Let's focus on my company.
There's also the moment of he's like, Guy, it sounds like you secretly like Hedon intelligence.
Yeah. You like Krabby Patties,
Yeah.
don't you, Squidward?
I wrote that down. It's so dumb. But also he does kind of. I will say he does kind of like it's foreshadowed a little bit the way he treats Aruto at the beginning, that he's just jealous that Aruto gets to be president of Hedon and not him.
Oh yeah, he flat out like stated his jealousy in the beginning when he was introduced there.
I don't think it was flat out, but there was subtext and
It's like I knew your grandfather and like you're not
when
fit
that
to run the
happened, for
company and all that.
Yeah.
It was foreshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things that weren't foreshadowed, but Anyway, before that conversation can end, Shesta gets a notification that their space station is being attacked by Metsubojin Rai. And like the space launch station, not the actual space station, the launching pad.
Mm-hmm.
And Ark, possessing Jin, is shooting at humans with Jin's gun.
He's actually just murdering people.
Yeah, at the launch site, just like shooting into the crowd.
Yeah.
And he's there with Ikazuchi. Ikazuchi starts getting, because the sight of the whole launch pad and everything starts giving him Raiden/Subaru flashbacks. He can't handle it, so he runs off. And then at the Hidden office/lab, we cut to there. Ai-chan is actually in there, so Aruto must have brought it there and kind of left it. And Ai-chan starts talking to Guy, who starts to open up about his sad as fuck childhood with a robot dog named Thouser and a dad that sucked. Do you guys want to talk about that?
I mean, it was ridiculous. It was just ridiculous because his dad, child guy, comes home with a test where he got 100%, and his dad is pissed because he didn't get 1,000%.
Well, no, he wasn't pissed. He was like, "You think that's good? That's you got to get 1,000%."
He was,
but
pissed.
He's not like pissed. No, he was
was
pissed when he comes home with a 99 on his test, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? You're spending too much time with that stupid dog."
I think he was pissed both times, and then 99 was the straw that broke the camel's back. But yeah, so basically all it is Guy realizing that he had a pet robot dog named Thouser when he was a kid, and that was the last time he was ever happy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, Ai-chan was like, "I can be your friend." He's like, "I don't need any friends. I never had any friends my whole life." So
True.
Guy basically says, "I was a lonely loser boy my whole life." And then he has the Thouser flashback. Yeah. In the next scene, we see Ames goons like pulling up to Yaiba and Fua because they were just hanging out. And they tell Yaiba that they need her back as their captain. They're lost without her, and Zaya's bullshit.
This was when Yaiba checked herself out of the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yaiba is leaving the hospital, and then she runs into Fua, who was coming to visit her, and he's like, shouldn't do that. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Because Fua's no better.
It turns out that the Ames boys really liked Yaiba. Yeah. She was a good captain.
They hate working for Zaya. Surprise, surprise. Or for Guy, at least, anyway. Yeah. Hate working for Guy.
And speaking of Guy, so seeing Guy opening up about Thouser, the dog, I guess Ai-chan maybe talks to Zaya or something, and then the Zaya printer starts printing something, and it's a new dog. It's a new Thouser.
It's a brand new Thouser.
Thouser?
Thouser?
And from here on out, Guy is just a stupid loser idiot.
Guy opens up the printer, sees Thouser, which opens up the floodgates, and his loserdom bubbles up to the surface.
Oh my god.
Can't retain his loserness anymore. At the same time, Metal Cluster Hopper is in a fight, is clashing with Arc Zero. Gets his ass kicked. And in that fight is when it kind of gets knocked down. Like you said, Jesse, the attaché shotgun gets materialized and he starts banging 0-1 in the head while he's on the ground. Yeah. Shoves him aside. And, at this point, after a couple of shots like that and getting tossed aside, Aruto dehensions, and Arc Zero's using another Frieza attack, the Frieza Death Ball.
Yeah, Frieza move number 2.
Frieza move number 2 to finish off Aruto. So he's staring down death. But we see a shot of the 1000 Jacker coming in, and it deflects the Frieza Death Ball, protecting Aruto. And we also see Thouser the dog show up as well. And then we see Thouser announcing that yes, he does love heat and intelligence, and that's why he wasn't able to accept Aruto's ideals. Um, deep down, whatever. And he'll work with Aruto to take down Arc, along with Dog Thouser.
Along
That's
with
the-
Dog Thouser.
That's the end of the episode.
Oh my god.
We can jump into the next one.
Yeah, let's
Let's
do
just
it.
Episode 39 is titled An Unexpected Outcome. Once again, picking up right when we left off. We're not messing around with the story anymore. Thouser and Metal Cluster Hop are together. So Aruto rehensions. Both of them fight Arc Zero together.
So-
And in that fight, we get a bunch of weird ass shots of the dog. As
well, no, it's when there's that, but also when Aruto is henching, like I couldn't really tell what was going on, but like the music was going on longer than normal, and there was a lot of like fading in and out shots of the Dog Thouser.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah,
putting its paws up.
It was
barking
really
to the beat.
weird.
It's fucking weird.
The
And it went on throughout the whole fight.
the break they took for unspecified reasons really, I feel like, messed with their heads, and they were like, how do we fill in time that we don't have written? Make the dog dance.
Yeah.
So it's hard to take the fight seriously.
Yeah.
And the two of them together managed to unleash. So they unleashed like a dual finisher, dual rider kick, strong enough to force Arc off of Jin.
Is this also the fight where Thouser tries to Jack?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was
Yes, it
gonna
is. We should
mention that
mention
too.
Yeah.
Ark ends up stealing Guy's data.
Yeah, our guy tries to jack his data and he gets reversed on him.
Yeah, he gets reversed. He gets reverse jacked.
Yeah. You try to jack, but you get jacked back.
Yeah.
But they actually wind up winning that fight because they Arc never predicted that those two were going to work together.
That and 2v1 versus Jin Arc, so he's weaker.
That too.
That's it. That's it. That's true.
Yeah. I think it's both together. Because
So,
obviously he
yeah.
would learn how to fight two people because he's Arc, so he learned. So I think the fact that he
Yeah.
wasn't counting on that threw him off on top of Jin. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, don't be. That's what this whole thing is about. I rely on you guys to interrupt me. Yeah, we go back to Aruto's place where Guy is there and he explains his turnaround and newfound view to Aruto and Izu. You know, having recalled his memories of Thouser and understanding now what the Aruto's dream is all about. And Izu tells him to apologize. So he bows and he apologizes. Aruto says it's not enough. You got to actually work for your repentance. And the guy says, I'll 1,000% work towards my repentance. And Aruto's response to that is great as well, because he also tells him, and also while you're at it, fuck off with the whole 1,000%.
Fucking annoying stuff.
And the guy's face when he says it too. So
that's great.
good. So good.
It's like, but that's my thing.
Yeah.
What do you
He's like,
mean?
"Nah, your new thing is loser with robots.
Yeah.
You
Your
can
new thing
do
is your new thing is a robot dog. Get out of here.
So we cut to daybreak where Arc is explaining to the rest of the Metsubo people that he didn't foresee Thouser and 01 working together. And so the catalyst for that must have been Zaya. It's the conclusion that it comes to. And while they're there, Ikazuchi starts getting the flashback headaches. And it looks like those memories of his old life are coming back to him. And then we cut to Aruto's place where Jin just wakes up from that whole scuffle that they had earlier where he was possessed by Arc. And he tells Aruto and Izu that, you know, Arc is going to target Zaya next because that's he was there. He was there when Arc was announcing that, you know, Zaya was the one variable that he couldn't predict or whatever. So Izu then tells Aruto that maybe they should link up to Zaya and see if they can upgrade 0-1 to face Arc. If Zaya is the wild card, then maybe Zaya can help us. So they link up the way they usually do, and they find out that unfortunately Zaya never calculated that the Arc would turn into a fucking Kamen Rider. So
I think specifically what Izu says is that Zaya was created to counter Metsubojin Rai.
yeah,
So like just the arc in general, I feel is like not what she.
well, they do say that, like, you know, to combat the Arc, like they never predicted that
yeah, right.
the Arc was going to turn into a Kamen Rider.
And that she's made 0-1 as strong as she could.
No more upgrades for 0-1. And that news freaks everyone out. But Aruto's cool as a cucumber, says, nah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
I'll figure something out. He looks at the sign that he's got in his office, the motivational, you know, leap towards your dream
Yeah.
sign, and says that, you know, all this time he's dependent on his grandpa's tech and hidden intelligence, and he's never really had to do anything on his own. People have always looked out for him, but this time he wants to create something, to make that change, to have an idea, to bring something to life. So he wants to come up with a Kamen Rider tech on his own.
Yep.
And then we cut to daybreak, where Ikazuchi gets his full memories back and fucks off from daybreak, now fully awake as Raiden, Subaru's older brother. Guy, at the same time, Guy calls in Fua and Yaiba to his office to apologize to them, and continues on his path to loserdom.
Yeah, not redemption.
Yeah. So he's you know, hopelessly apologizing to two people that he fucked harder than anyone else in the series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
he notably does like get down like on his knees, bows head on the floor.
yeah, because Thouser the dog tells him, "Come on now."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Thouser tells him to do it.
Yeah. So, you know, they see this loser with his robot dog all bending down and everything, and Yaiba's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm out of here." Like, after what you did to this dude, like, you seriously want us to, like, actually forgive you? But Fua, who's just freaking awesome, says, "You know what? It's cool. You wiped out 12 years of my life. We're okay. But as repentance, I want you to spin off Ames from Zaya and make it independent. Like, you're ruining it yourself. So let Ames go, and that'll be that'll be your one step towards us being cool with you, you fucking loser." Then we cut to Aruto's office, where he's working feverishly to come up with a new Kamen Rider concept.
He's doing a lot of drawing.
He's doodling and writing notes.
It's like the scene from Spider-Man where Peter's trying to design his costume before he goes to the wrestling match.
Dude, I didn't think of that, but that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's almost exactly the same.
It's even shot similarly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice one. So while he's doing that, Ikazuchi bursts in, but wait, it's not Ikazuchi. It's Raiden. And Jin's a little bit skeptical of Ikazuchi. Like, how do we know it's really you? And how'd you escape from Daybreak Town? How'd you get past the Arc? And Raiden just like looks up to him and says, quickly. fucking dipped is how I got out of it.
I just was really fast.
I just legged it.
I just legged it. So Ikazuchi, now Raiden, convinces Aruto to go on the offense and take down the Arc off guard, because he knows that, you know, Arc is going to attack Zaya and everything, and with good intentions sets Aruto on a path to confront Arc. Then we cut to Guy, who's talking to the Ames guys and basically handing over authority of Ames to Yaiba. And they're talking, and while they're talking, he kind of realizes that perhaps the reason his powers were jacked by Arc were because the Arc's plans were were changed after his interference in his fight with Metal Cluster Hopper.
He has like an
So-
aha moment.
He has that aha moment, and he surmises that, oh wait, maybe Ark isn't gonna just directly attack Zaya. Maybe this is the plan shifted to something else. So 0-1 goes to face off against Ark, following the guidance from Raiden. But the Ark predicted this whole thing and means to attack 0-1 and use the 0-1 driver to hook up to Zaya, which is actually exactly what happens. I don't know if we want to talk about the fight. It wasn't much of a fight. It was kind of just
Just threw him around.
Naruto
fine.
getting completely fucked by Arc Zero again.
Basically, yeah.
Gets dehensioned. Arc Zero just rips the driver off of Naruto, tells him you're never going to be 0-1 again. Holds up the driver and hooks up to Zaya, completely takes over the satellite. That's the end of the episode.
Yep.
That's the end of the episode.
Then we're on to our last one.
Is there something I wanted to say about this episode? I think there was, and now I don't remember. So we can
Move on.
move on. Oh, I think it was so. So we were talking. We've been talking the whole time. Guy was in about like, does he have like a Gentoku moment where it's just like a 180 complete turn, and clearly he does, but not in the same way that Gentoku does, where Gentoku becomes completely lovable and likable.
No.
Guy just has a personality change.
He just becomes a stupid loser
He
idiot
becomes
that you
tolerable.
laugh at.
Yeah, he becomes tolerable.
Yeah, but like I used to hate him and hating him, but now I love hating him.
Now I love seeing him be a loser.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, yeah,
laughing at him.
He did have like a Gentoku like 180
Yeah.
change moment, just in a bad way.
Yeah, Jesse's words to you were like, "You lied to us."
So okay, so I got this kind of spoiled for me with the exact like episode number and everything on the subreddit, but I didn't read it. It was something about when you make your villain like completely unredeemable and unlikable, you can't just go and give him redemption or something. And I saw a picture and it was Guy's face and it was like episode 39, and I was like, oh fuck, close. So I didn't read the rest. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then Zach's like, he doesn't get a redemption. Don't worry.
Well, I never.
And then he doesn't really get a
he doesn't.
redemption.
I
but-
never this is the second time I'm watching through it. Even the first time, I didn't see it as a redemption at all.
No,
it
it's
was
not
like
really a redemption.
it was backstory for Guy and why he's like this, but like he's not likable now. I don't think
No.
he's likable at all. He's never been likable just because now he's
I think he's likable.
He's friends with a fucking robot dog doesn't make him likable. It makes him fun to watch now.
I think he's likable and haha, I like you.
I think
you
he's
loser idiot.
I think
You
he's fun
loser
to
idiot.
watch now. I don't think he's like likable like Naruto or Fuwa is likable. But I don't see what happened to Guy as like a redemption arc
No.
or whatever. It was just
It
was
did
just,
still
hey.
spoil it for me.
no, yeah, I guess, but
A little
it
bit.
wasn't as you were disappointed that he got a redemption arc, and I was trying to tell you it's not as bad as you think.
Oh, it definitely is not.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it too. I mean, I was also opposed to Gentoku originally getting
Yeah.
redemption, and he became like my favorite.
I'm generally opposed to villains getting redemption arcs and then becoming good guys. So
Luckily, it seems they don't do it with like the big bads. So
yeah, it's more of a it's never the end.
it's like
boss
the
guy.
earlier villains.
Mhm.
Although you can argue that Evolt kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but Volt is different. I
But he
think.
never really is good.
No,
They still
but
had to
it's-
defeat him, and even when he comes back in the special,
Right now,
He's
Volt
still-
is
he's
eating
just-
another planet. It's just he's not eating Earth. He's still like being evil.
anyways, next episode, let's go.
Yeah.
Episode 40, titled
one's a-
"Leaping Towards Our Dream."
This one's a doozy.
Oh boy. It
It's a
it
great
opens with
episode.
it is. It's I think my I'll preface this by saying I haven't seen the whole series. everyone would know that, but Zach
Yeah.
has. This is my favorite episode of
It's
this.
the best episode.
I think
so
this
far.
is the best episode of the entire series.
This one legitimately made me feel so many emotions, and I was shocked.
We'll get into it, but yeah.
Yeah. Head and shoulders above other episodes in terms of just amazingness.
Mm-hmm.
It opens with Izu not being able to reach Zaya. Aruto's lying down all beat up from the fight and sits up saying he's going to defeat the Ark. He tells Izu to take a look on his desk at his new Kamen Rider plans. And one comment he makes is he tells Izu he needs a favor from her. Jin's there with them, tells them, guys, we're fucked, and there's nothing we can do. But Aruto says, come on, man, you can't go anywhere. You can't get anything done thinking that it's impossible. You gotta try. In the next scene, Fua and Yaiba are in Guy's office giving him shit for making the Ark because now Zaya's gone and everyone's fucked and it's all his fault. So they're giving him shit. And Izu comes in while they're giving him shit and says she needs his company's assistance, which I assume means Hidden Intelligence and not Zaya.
Probably.
And meanwhile, Ark, as Ikazuchi, bursts into Aruto's office and attacks Jin and Aruto. Aruto now defenseless because the 01 driver has been taken away from him, can't turn it to 01. Jin henshins and fights him, gets his ass kicked, obviously.
Very hard.
And Jin tells Aruto to get the hell out of there since he can't henshin. But Aruto stays. Ark does like a Frieza ball blast inside the building, and Jin takes one for Aruto, which forces him out of Burning Falcon mode. The building's all blown up. They're on the
100%
ground.
Explode.
Aruto gets up. Jin, I think again, says, dude, get the fuck out of here. But Aruto, all defiant, says he won't run away. And Ark, all Frieza-like, makes a comment saying, yeah, just as calculated. And Frieza laser beams him through the heart, killing
Frieza
him.
move number 3.
Yeah.
Beating right through the heart.
Yeah, Frieza beam right through the heart. And Naruto's just dead.
God, I want to make a video that's like a compilation of Arc beaming everybody, and then it cuts to Frieza beaming Vegeta, and then Cell beaming Trunks, just like in the middle of it.
Oh man. It's exactly the move though.
Yeah,
He
it's the
just
same.
has Frieza's moveset.
Yeah.
So Naruto's dead, right?
If
Yeah.
Aruto doesn't yell at Arc near the end of this series and call him a fool, I'm gonna be pissed.
You fool. Okay, Aruto's dead. They bring Aruto's corpse to the secret hidden lab, and everyone's in disbelief that Aruto's dead. Especially
this-
Izu,
It's the worst scene in the whole fucking episode.
who can't comprehend his death. She walks up to him, and you guys can go ahead. I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't even want to. She's just like,
she's-
okay, Aruto.
yeah.
Okay, Aruto.
She keeps asking him
Sacho,
for
wake up.
Yeah, she keeps
What do I
asking
do?
for orders.
Tell me what to do.
And Jin's
Jin-
like,
yeah.
he's dead, Izu. And he's
She
like,
does-
no, I need orders. And Jin's like, he's fucking dead.
Yeah, Jin's like, knock it off. He's
It's-
dead.
Stop.
Yeah.
And then everybody's sad.
Yeah. So while the horribly sad Izu moment is happening, there's like a loud bang, and there's like a huge attack on the city. There's explosions everywhere. We get a shot of the city with like everything's blowing up, and the gang runs out to see what's going on. As they run out, Guy gets shot through the chest, collapses, and dies.
Yeah.
Ark walks up and loads another finger laser and shoots at Fua, who's got his shot riser out. He wants to get his henshin on. And Yaiba pushes him out of the way, takes one for him. She gets lasered through the heart, dies. Fua, pissed, tries to go through with his henshin, spins the dial, shoots the gun, but before his bullets can come back to him and he can henshin, gets shot through the heart.
Which is
dying.
that's illegal, by the way. You're supposed to be protected when you're henching.
Not when it's Arc.
Also, the whole time I was like, "This is a kids show. Why are all the characters
all of the
being
heroes
murdered
are
through the
dead.
heart? What is
So-
happening?"
All of our main cast, all of our Kamen Riders dead.
Can I read my notes out real quick?
Yeah.
It's Aruto is dead. Oops, Guy 2. Oops, Yaiba 2. And there goes Fua.
Yeah, all our Kamen Riders are dead.
Yeah. Except for Jin.
Who is
Except for
not a
Jin.
human?
True.
Jin is the new face of the show.
Kamen Rider Jin.
Kamen Rider Jin.
Jin 1.
Jinro 1.
So everyone's dead. Izu's still trying to come to grips with Aruto's death. Starts to feel grief for the first time. Starts crying. Jin's like, "What the hell? Are you leaking coolant?"
Yeah, he's like, is she
Yeah.
leaking coolant? How is this happening?
Is this possible? Then, all Steins Gate like, we snap back in time to Aruto waking up and sitting up at the Hedon manufacturing location with Jin and Izu around him, and Jin saying it's impossible to beat the Arc, etc. We snap back to that moment. And Izu's there. She remembers what happened from the
Kinda.
future. Sort of.
She's like, I don't know. I think Arc is coming. You need to leave.
Yeah, she tells them we need to fuck off because the Arc's gonna attack.
So I don't know if this is gonna make it in the podcast. Nick, do you remember like 2 weeks ago we were watching Sabrina? And
Yes.
there was like the time they go back in time, and Sabrina realizes right away that she's gone back in time. This is exactly like that. The moments I was saying where Sabrina somehow like right away, but usually the person who goes back in time is like, "What the heck's going on?" That was Izu. Izu was reverse Sabrina in that moment.
But that is also
that is staying in the
like
podcast.
That is like Steins Gate though, where
Yeah.
No, I know. It's just it just hit me where I had made a reference to something like this like 2 weeks ago.
once we finish this, I have a shitty reference also, but I want to get through the whole thing.
Okay.
Actually, give. I got a cat.
Yep. It just hit me right now, and I had to get it out before I forgot.
Cat has become moist. I'm good.
Nice.
Boy. So Izu's got the memory of the future and tells them that they need to just F off out of there because Arc is going to attack. But it's too late because the Arc comes in, Azi Kazuchi once more attacks, and we'll skip through the scenes. Aruto gets shot again, but this time Izu's there and sees him get shot through the chest. Snap back in time again.
She starts crying again before the back in time, but yeah.
Starts crying again. It's just brutal.
Just sad forever.
It kind of feels like we're looping through it, very Steins Gate like. Go back in time again. This time, Izu doesn't waste any time telling them they need to get out of there. And the events, presumably this time around, transpire the same way until Arc shoots the death laser at Aruto. We see Jin smile, and Aruto's still standing. He's holding a key, and the laser got blocked. And Aruto starts giving his explanation of the events that transpired. That it was thanks to Zaya, and Arc says, "What the hell are you talking about? Zaya is dead." And he's like, "Oh, you didn't calculate that, did you?" Aruto explains that Zaya is not dead. It was linked to Izu the whole time, and every time she felt a new emotion, it would stir up something with the Arc. So he asked Izu to run through thousands of simulations to try and find a way to bring Zaya back online with her and to make the new snazzy powers that he drew up. So once Izu felt grief for the first time at the loss of Aruto, that's when Zaya came back online. They were able to print the new key.
The new key. Yes. No, it's
Yeah.
true. There is just a key right now.
Yeah, the new key. And Following that explanation, Aruto gets on the same mental wavelength as Izu. They hold hands and they print together. They materialize the 02 driver to go with the key, and we see 02 now henshin for the
Now
first time.
he's 02.
Yeah. Kamen Rider 02.
Kamen Rider.
We need to change the name of the show
02.
now. Should just
Yeah,
have a completely
it's-
different name from this point forward.
It does feel like exceptional in the way that it is a new belt and a completely new power. It's not just an upgrade from
No, it's a new
01.
Kamen
It's a
Rider.
it's a completely new Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
should
it's just an
honestly-
upgraded form of 01, to be honest. It looks like
mean,
01, but upgraded.
It has stylistic similarities, but that's because Aruto designed it and he was just like taking
got, like,
inspiration from 01.
It's got the red 2.
But it's got a brand new driver and a brand new key that only work together. It's a completely new power. It's a new Kamen Rider.
and it's got the quintessential scarf of badassness.
Well, did you also realize that the scarf is a 2?
I did not notice that the scarf was a 2.
It's a 2.
Is it a scarf or it's on the thing on the shoulder that's a 2?
It's a scarf. It comes off of his neck. It goes like onto his shoulder,
Okay.
but it's a scarf
it's a
because it's a
2.
Kamen
Yes.
Rider thing.
Yeah.
Scarf
Yep.
plus person
You know,
equals
while
Kamen
we were
Rider.
watching this whole series, I was thinking, man, we don't have any like badass scarved characters in this one.
Yeah, not like Naruto doesn't wear a scarf like outside of transforming.
Yeah,
Ever. Not
we usually
once.
have like at least.
I think
They've been
Sento
saving
did a few times in build. You know what? Emu didn't either.
Didn't Sento wear? Well, Amu had a the
He
stethoscope.
had the stethoscope, I guess.
So
yeah,
it's like a
you could
scarf.
argue, yeah.
His neck was occupied.
Yeah.
Were there any scarved riders in X8 at all? I need to look
No.
back at it.
No, but also actually
No,
the designs were
Taiga.
super weird.
Taiga had a scarf of
Taiga
badass.
had
Oh,
like
I
it was like but it was like a sand or desert scarf or whatever. It wasn't
Okay.
like you know what I mean.
Right, like what like a soldier would wear.
Yeah, to like cover
Yeah,
his face.
yeah.
It wasn't
Still
like a
counts.
cold scarf. I mean, it still counts for sure.
But
But he was the
this
only
whole
one.
show, we didn't have anyone,
Yeah.
unless you want to count Izu's little bow.
You know what? I think Izu wore a scarf at one point in a winter episode. Like in a Christmas episode when they were outside.
That doesn't count.
Naruto would look good with the scarf.
Yeah.
I didn't write many notes for the 02 fight against Arc.
It was
good.
I mean it was basically Shining Hopper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the same powers, it's just stronger. So, you know, it wasn't exceptional. I mean, the form looks cool. It was a nice moment.
No, so the fight was absolutely cool because there's a point where they do the thing where it shows
All the different
02
possibilities.
and then Arc is there and then Arc's like, I've got your number, and then it shows him beating up 02 and you're like, what the hell? And then it like goes back and Arc is standing there and then 02 is standing behind him like, you're better than you, and then they fight some more and 02 kicks Arc's ass. That was pretty cool. He calculates even faster than Arc.
Yeah, so Arc's gonna have to work for it. Not gonna be able to just
He's gonna need an upgrade.
finger beam everyone to
Also,
death anymore.
his finisher is 02 Big Bang.
Big Bang Attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he defeated Frieza with the Big Bang attack.
Instead of just Impact, 01 Impact, it's 02 Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kicks the Arc's ass, and Arc gets quote unquote, I don't know, destroyed. But we know that Arc took over the Zaya satellite, so it's still around.
Yeah, so I think it's either Jin or Hirobi says like he's still alive in the satellite, and then it like cuts to the satellite and it's evil looking.
Ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we also got a shot. Well, we saw a shot. I don't know if it was like we got a glimpse of like potentially the next episode where we saw a new key, perhaps.
Oh,
was white.
at the end, you mean when it did the,
The
when it
episode
does the
closing.
close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
So we
also
saw
showed
something.
one of them showed like an arc key that we never got to see because there is no key for arc. So
I
Yeah,
think I
the
know. I think I
little
know what
button.
Ark's next form is. So
All will
Giant.
be revealed in the next episode of this
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah, next
Yes.
week we'll all find out. All of us. There's definitely not one of us who knows all the answers already.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah, I mean, you keep spoiling stuff for yourself on Reddit, so.
On purpose, man. All right. Well, that's it for this episode, everybody.
Nobody has anything more they want to talk about.
No.
I'll do the outro. You guys are done.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We really appreciate all of you. If you're watching this right now on Twitch, don't forget to go over to my YouTube channel, A Giant Robot TV, where we upload these episodes every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can watch us record it live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/A Giant Robot, where we do this live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So come and hang out with us. It's basically the best thing ever, as you can see. And yeah, that's it. I guess we will see everybody next week.
Bye everybody.
See ya.
Bye.